Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video, I will be talking about the newest episode of Tokyo Revengers. And this video will be an anime review for episode 35 of Tokyo Revengers, and this is the 11th episode of the second season. And this episode covers chapters 111, 112, 113, and 114 of the Tokyo Revengers manga. And in this video series, I will also be comparing the anime to the manga, and I will analyze these episodes to see if there were any scenes that were removed from the source material. And in this episode we will get to see what happens after the Christmas conflict, and we will also get to see a Toman meeting that shows us the true consequences of Kasaki's decision to betray Toman. And one of my favorite parts of this episode was getting to see the Toman meeting, and I loved getting to see the part of the episode where Hanma was fighting against Draken. And in this episode I also thought that the animation of the hair movement was a lot better than the previous season, and the end of this episode will show us that the author left us with a massive cliffhanger. Anyway guys, before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. So let's get into the video now. So at the beginning of this chapter we get to see a Toman meeting, and we see that Draken and Mikey are standing together, and Draken is telling everyone that the meeting is about to begin. And then in the next scene Draken started telling everyone about the Christmas conflict, and he gave a speech about everything that happened. And then we get to see a close-up face shot of Smiley, Muto, Hakai, and Mitsuya. And we also get to see Takemichi and Chifuyu, and this scene also shows us Hanma and Kasaki. And then Draken said that Hakai Shiba is going to talk to everyone. And then Hakai just started apologizing to everyone for involving Toman in his family issues. And while he was apologizing Hakai was bowing down to everyone. However Yasuhiro Muto told Hakai not to worry about it, and he also told Hakai that it doesn't matter, and while he was saying this he had a smile on his face. And Smiley said that everything turned out fine because they already defeated the Black Dragons gang. And Mitsuya told Hakai that he is still going to be the vice captain of the 2nd Division. And Mitsuya asked the 2nd Division members if they are okay with this, and the 2nd Division responded to this by cheering yes. And then Draken announced that Koko and Inupi are going to talk to everyone. And in this moment Koko and Inupi suddenly arrived on the scene, and they said that they are from the 10th generation of the Black Dragons gang. And then Koko and Inupi said that they are going to become members of Toman. And then Mikey told everyone that Koko and Inupi are going to be assigned under the command of the 1st Division, and Mikey said that this means that they will serve under Takemichi Hanagaki. And Mikey also said that he is respecting their decision to join the 1st Division of Toman. And then Koko told Takemichi that he is glad to be here, and he also called Takemichi his captain. And Inupi told Takemichi that he won't ask him to trust them, but he said to ask them for help whenever he needs them. And then Mikey said that the last person he wants to talk to is Teta Kasaki. And Kasaki just asked Mikey what he needs to talk with him about. And then in the next scene Mikey started talking to Kasaki, and Mikey just told Kasaki that he is fired. And in this scene we got to see the reaction of Kasaki and Takemichi, and they both looked very surprised. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 111 ends, and chapter 112 begins with showing us that Chifuyu said that he told Mikey about Kasaki's betrayal. And Kasaki asked Mikey if he is making a joke, and he said that this is insane. However Mikey said that he is not joking, and Mikey told Kasaki that he is fired. And then Hanma started speaking to Mikey, and Hanma told Mikey that if he kicks out Kasaki, then he is going to leave too. And Hanma said that if this happens, then Toman will lose 350 members, and their numbers will drop to only 100 members. However Mikey said that he does not care because Toman has gotten too big anyway. And Kasaki asked Mikey if it is Toman's objective to become bigger. However Mikey just replied to this by asking if his instigation was done to make Toman bigger. And then Mikey told Kasaki that Chifuyu told him about everything that he did. And then Mikey told Kasaki that from this moment onward, he is not going to ignore any of the dirty tactics that Kasaki has been using. And then Kasaki started freaking out, and Kasaki told Mikey that everything he did was for his sake. However Draken started approaching Kasaki, and Draken said that he doesn't have permission to approach Mikey. However in this moment Hanma suddenly attacked Draken, and Hanma tried to punch Draken, however we saw that Draken was able to block this punch. And Hanma told Draken to shut up and let Kisaki talk. And Draken just responded to this by calling him an asshole. And then Kisaki tried to convince Mikey to let him stay as a member of Toman, and Kisaki told Mikey that he needs him, and in this moment Kisaki was reaching out his hand to Mikey. And while he was apologizing, Hakai was bowing down to everyone. However, Mikey just told Kisaki that they are through with him, and Mikey said that his arbitrary decisions will screw up his dream. And in this moment Kisaki fell down to his knees, and then he started screaming out Mikey's name. And then Draken announced to everyone that this meeting is now over. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 112 ends, and chapter 113 begins with showing us that Mikey and Draken just finished working on a motorcycle, and in this moment they just gave each other a high five. And then Mikey got very excited, and Mikey said that he is going to tell Takemichi. And then Mikey told Shifuyu to cover up Takemichi's eyes, and in this scene they were walking down the street. And when Takemichi opened his eyes he saw that Mikey and Draken were showing him a motorcycle. And then Mikey told Takemichi that this is a twin version of his bike, and then Mikey told Takemichi that his older brother found this bike in the Philippines. And Mikey said that he found the engine all by itself, and then he collected other parts, and he put all these parts together to make his motorcycle. And in this moment the anime added some visuals that were never in the manga, and in these visuals we get to see Shinichiro, and we also got to see the moment where Shinichiro found the engine. And then Mikey said that him and Draken collected different parts, and then they fixed this bike. And then Mikey told Takemichi that this bike is for Takemichi, and in this moment Mikey was giving Takemichi this new gift. And Draken told Takemichi that it is a bad look for a Toman captain not to have a bike. And in this moment Takemichi was very surprised, and Mikey just told Takemichi that it would be a waste to just keep this bike on display. And then Shifuyu started jumping on Takemichi, and Shifuyu said that this is so awesome. And Draken told Takemichi to start the engine, and in this moment the anime added a scene where Shifuyu was dancing, and this scene was never in the manga. And in this moment Mikey got onto the bike with Takemichi, and Mikey said that he is going to teach him how to ride a motorcycle. And after teaching Takemichi how to ride the motorcycle, Mikey started saying that when his older brother found this engine, he got a sense of destiny from it. And in this moment the anime added another visual that was never in the manga, and in this visual we get to see another scene where Shinichiro is finding the bike engine. And Mikey said that the engine was calling out to his older brother. And Mikey said that he wants to go see that place in the Philippines someday, and Takemichi replied to this by saying that they should go to the Philippines. And Mikey said that Takemichi is getting good at riding the bike. And then in the next scene we see that Takemichi is hanging out with Shifuyu, and Shifuyu was saying that Kisaki got kicked out of Toman, and the first division is now the strongest division in the gang. And then Shifuyu told Takemichi that his mission was successful. And Shifuyu told Takemichi that he belongs 12 years in the future. And Shifuyu also said that Hinata and Akin will be alive 12 years in the future. And then Takemichi started yelling at Shifuyu, and Takemichi said that he is thankful for everything, and he also said that he is the best friend that he has ever had. And in this scene we see that Shifuyu started smiling at Takemichi, and then Shifuyu said that he will see him again 12 years in the future, and he also said that they will be apart for a short while until then. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 113 ends, and chapter 114 begins with showing us that Takemichi is meeting up with Naoto. And Naoto asked Takemichi why he asked to meet up with him. And then Takemichi started bowing down to Naoto, and Takemichi told him to take care of Hinata. And then Takemichi said that he knows that this sounds weird, but Naoto has to take care of Hinata. And in this moment we saw that Takemichi shook hands with Naoto, and in this moment he was traveling back to the future. And then we get to see a flashback where Takemichi was meeting up with the Toman members, and Takemichi started telling them about Baji's last words. And Takemichi said that Kisaki is the enemy, and he also said that Pa-chin is the 3rd division captain. And then Takemichi started crying, and he told the Toman members to not forget about Baji's goal, and he also told them to stay strong. And then Takemichi told Mikey that if anyone can create a new age of delinquents, Mikey is the person who can accomplish this. And Mikey just replied to this by saying Takemichi's name. And then Shifuyu put his hand on Takemichi's shoulder, and he said that he is going to make him cry. And then in the next scene Takemichi asked the Toman members if they can take a picture together. And in this moment we get to see the picture that was taken of Hakai, Draken, Mitsuya, Mikey, and Shifuyu, and in this moment the episode switches back to Takemichi, and Takemichi is traveling back to the future. And when he arrived in the future Takemichi realized that he is at a funeral, and then he started wondering if Hinata is alive. And then a lady told Takemichi that the funeral is this way. And then one of the other ladies said thank you to Takemichi for coming to her brother's funeral. And in this moment Takemichi started wondering whose funeral this is, and then he started running inside of the funeral. And when he got inside of the funeral he saw a picture of Mitsuya, and in this moment Takemichi realized that this funeral is actually for Mitsuya. And when he realized that Mitsuya is dead Takemichi became very surprised, and then he started panicking. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 114 ends, and this is the end of this video. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, and want to see more like it then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.